Welcome. My name is Tyler Small. I'm a part of the technical support team here at PureLink. And today's webinar topic is designing what's next inside PureLink's engineering mindset. PureLink has pioneered multiple AV breakthroughs from cross-platform matrix switching to effortless control and next-gen AV over IP architectures. This session pulls back the curtain on those philosophies, engineering approaches, and bold ideas that drive PureLink's innovations. Discover how AV is evolving and what's next for the team behind the industry's most influential technologies. Now, before we go into the specifics of that and what we are doing in today's day and age and trying to remain on the cutting edge of technology, even here in 2026, it all goes back to 2002 when the story of PureLink was launched. It all started with our CEO, Minsu Park, who realized the weakness in the HDCP specification when it came to commercial grade AV, where you would need more than just one source and need something put in the middle that wouldn't just signal as pirating or as something that was stealing data. And instead, it kind of gave birth to matrix switching as we've known it in the past 20 years. And that mission statement of always being on the cutting edge of technology and always trying to keep up with the demands that the industry has to offer has led us to have several different brands underneath the PureLink umbrella that we are proud to call our own and proud to say continues to be the most up-to-date solution for whatever setup or situation you find yourself in. So going from left to right on the brands that PureLink has to offer, Icon is our control and automation, including an award-winning at Infocom easy language, which allows you to write lines of JavaScript code in just plain English via mouse drop-down clicking. PushGo is a collaboration with our Icon easy control that allows for custom all-in-one bundles of conference room, huddle room, meeting room solutions for everything from custom programming and control to switchers to cameras and even the cabling and demonstrations in between. Media Access and Media Access and Pure Media are our modular cross-platform matrix switchers, alongside PureStream, which is our AV over IP line. HD Tools is a majority of our smaller point-to-point solutions, and TotalWire is our cabling brand. Excuse me. Our clients, we have 400 plus clients that trust PureLink for our reliability and our ability to give them solutions that they can't find elsewhere. And we like to show this because we like to show that the high stakes of some of the places we are in, whether it's the CIAs you see there or FIFA, this Apple uses all of our products. So it's just, there are several different companies that rely upon us for that reliability and for the insurance of our everything from our technical support team in case something goes wrong, or just the hardware equipment on its own. Now to the topic of today's webinar, PureLink's innovation mindset. From 2024 to 2025, there were plenty of AV advancements that we saw in the space. Several that we installed and made sure to keep up with within our PureLink brand. So the first one being AI integration into the AV world. You can't go anywhere in any line of work nowadays without running into AI and having to be compatible with AI. And that's where we have seen with our PureLink HuddleCam 500 and the VipCam 100 Mark IIs that add on devices, AIs for auto framing, auto tracking, and face recognition identification to just give that more sophisticated, higher tech feel to an everyday meeting that might be ahead of you. So with the auto tracking and our smart gallery, which keeps track of the entire group of table alongside individual ISO shots of each member of the meeting, it allows for that advanced look and utilizes AI as it continues to grow in the AV world. USB-C 4.0 is something that we are proud to offer now at PureLink. So our class of cables deliver 40 gigabytes per second data, DisplayPort alt mode, and high-res video, PD 3.1, and EPR to 240 watts for that charging and all data transfer via our stable, active, and passive cables, and plenty of different sizing and scalability, female to male extenders, all that you would hope to offer from your USB-C solutions. Then, of course, the 4K routing and cinema grade audio. So features introduced to our 8x8 HDMI switcher, the SX28800, include Dolby Atmos, Dolby True HD, DTS family, LPCM, a lot of different theater quality pictures that can come from our 8x8 switchers offered by PureLink. These are just 3 examples of the advancements we saw last year going from 2024 to 2025. But as you can see here, there is plenty of backing of this company always coming out with something new every calendar year and always leading the charge of other AV manufacturers to keep up with the times and just keep up with the growing needs of the people in the field. So as we talked back about the DVI matrix switching with HDCP issues, even just the first DVI to fiber cable to some of our newer inventions like the push-go meeting room systems from last year, USB-C and Dante solutions from the year prior, and plenty of other solutions that now might be pretty normal and accepted and understood, but at the time we were one of the first to be able to do it and proudly be able to do it with our support and reliability behind it. So we are seeing plenty of developments in several of our lines, as we mentioned earlier, of our sister companies underneath PureLink's umbrella. Excuse me. So for PureStream, our AV over IP line, PureStream represents PureLink's evolution to high-performance AV over IP, bringing the same engineering disciplines found in our matrix switchers to a fully network-based platform. That even includes our own line of network switchers so that we have that layer 3 security for reliable and easy to understand aspects of AV over IP. Its design reflects PureLink's commitment to long-term flexibility, ensuring systems can scale, adapt, and integrate with emerging standards without constant hardware replacements. So obviously that's where we see the need for AV over IP and the option to scale, option to grow every opportunity that presents itself that sometimes might be stuck with modular matrix switchers. However, we know that there is still a demand for that, and there is still a demand for the reliability that our Max 2 has to offer. So as we continue to develop our AV over IP line and push the specs that can be possible while still staying on a 1 gigabyte network switch port, the modular matrix switchers is what PureLink has made itself known for in the world of Pro AV when you go back through our history. And it doesn't mean that the innovation has to stop. This modularity reflects PureLink's belief in long-term system longevity, not short product cycles. While the world of AV leans toward IP solutions instead of traditional point-to-point routing, there is still a need for this reliability and scalability that Max 2 has to offer. So whether it's mission critical or places that don't want all the traffic to be bogging down their network switchers, or just the reliability of point-to-point cables already run through your building, corporate office, wherever you may be installing one of our units, we still service them and we still keep up to date with the backplane of it being able to support whatever the pushing and growing specs of the world continue to go to. And lastly, Icon, as we talked about with our proprietary control software. Icon brings PureLink's engineering mindset into the user interface layer, delivering a control platform that is simple on the surface, but powered by a deeply flexible architecture underneath. Its design reflects PureLink's belief that control systems should evolve with the installation, offering long-term adaptability rather than locking integrators into rigid programming modules. So while we offer the custom programming options, because of the PureLink Easy language being so easy to copy and paste and grow and for us to program for you, there will still be needs down the line, as I'm sure most of you have experience in the world of control, that was never deemed possible because the backings for being able to understand and update the projects were not possible with the technical support that you had on site. And it would have to be the purchasing of new projects as opposed to just the growth of your original project that only needs a few additions. Icon and our growing library of how-to videos will continue to push that forward and allow whether it's end users or integrators to be able to do some of the smaller solutions, from something like changing the layout of the user interface overall or adding new features and new products that are being controlled by the system. So those are some of our flagship products that we like to talk about, our continued growth and continued push to stay on the cutting edge of technology. But there are some bigger trends that we are excited about that we are heading into in the 2026 calendar year. The first one, being control and collaboration. So make meetings effortless and repeatable. It focuses on workflow that makes meetings start reliably and run smoothly with minimal IT or AV intervention. So via those push-go packages that we are continuing to grow upon, it allows things to be automated that weren't once at a certain point, but also allows it to be on a much more affordable and scalable solution for some of these huddle rooms that you don't think is worth the full-fledged upgrade, or some of the ones that might have been passed over because of the size of the project. Now we give a solution that can look professional for anyone, regardless of the size of your meetings or office space. So as we talk about push-go, we have some aiding pictures here that also explain, alongside of that, the packages that are offered. So going left to right from Alta, which is one of our smallest packages, that come with a MVS41, which is a 4x1 HDMI switcher, just for plugging and playing and hooking up your laptops. Or as you continue to grow, the TAUs has bring your own device dongles with our collaboration hub that also offer Google Mirrorcast and Apple AirPlay. And then as we get to the bigger packages for those bigger huddle rooms, we have options with one of our most advanced presentation switchers, a 6x1 USB-C HDMI option, alongside the camera that I was talking about earlier with the AI features, and even a room scheduler that keeps you up to date on what's going on in that room and how big of a scale that our push-go packages can range from. And as I mentioned in the past, this is all possible because of Icon Easy Control. So as I was talking about earlier, we're not going to go fully into this because we've done it in other webinars. However, if anyone would like to see some of the documentation, we have plenty of it when it comes to our drag and drop options, alongside the mouse clicking that you see here in this picture, that allow for such simple of things as changing the color of a button or the status of a button, something more complicated like a recallable function that continues to be called throughout a project, that can all be done via that easy language, which is just mouse clicking, which is just in plain English writing, and gives you the time back that usual weeks of programming would take for a project. So that makes us excited for our push-go packages, for our ability to custom program whatever control aspects you might need in your space, but also for our 2026 new release. We are excited about the PushGo Meeting Launcher. So what is that exactly? Now, we have offered PushGo for the last calendar year or so, which has all the scalable options alongside the bundled options of cables, hardware, control, as we mentioned. But now, since most people would be upgrading just their individual laptop setup or computer setup, just connected via HDMI to a display, some of the more simple options, these end users would still be using the laptop even when they get the PushGo project built within their room. Now, this gives the option for a downloadable executable file that runs in the background without bogging down your computer, that allows you to directly call your meetings based on the input of your calendar. So whether it's Outlook or Google Calendar, which is what we currently support, the Icon T10 that is pre-programmed for you would be directly extracting your meetings for today or your most upcoming meeting or your schedule for the rest of the week to be able to, by one press of a button, launch that meeting and then give you control within the meeting. As you see on the second picture here on the right, simple things like muting and unmuting your audio or video, showing the participants, showing the chat, sharing your screen, answering another call, or ending the meeting overall. So this is our excited new product to launch now. So if you were to go for a PushGo package, you can now have that ease and smooth reliability of, with one press of a button, the launching of the PushGo meeting room. Not only does the internal local control that you have in your room, whether it's light control, display control, or control of the switcher and camera, it also now offers the ability to directly launch a Zoom meeting, a Teams meeting, or a Google Meet with one press of a button. That's not all when it comes to our integration and continued growth of our catalog here at PureLink for the 2026 year. Alongside that will be our networked AV that respects IT constraints. Described the shift from point-to-point AV to managed network distribution and wide network requirements, whether that's QoS, multicast security, or just individual VLANs on their own, and how much network traffic that you're actually putting on the network via that audio and video distribution. We continue to try and get our units to run with less network traffic, run on a cooler operating temperature, and run with that increased reliability and increased flexibility of the customization of IP control, of just the assigning of IP addresses and gateways and everything that you need for that simplicity of an installation of something that could be sometimes a headache due to the integration of going into someone's network that could be very boggled down or overtied when it comes to the IT constraints that are going through that individual office or building. Some of those options that we offer are on a scalable side, double click there, are AV over IP your way. So whether we look at the left, which is our new VIP T150 encoder, decoder, and wall plate option, this pushes up to 1080p 60, HDMI 1.3 or HDCP 1.3, H.264, 265 codec with less than 100 milliseconds of latency, alongside with the KVM options. And it has multi-view video wall up to 10 by 10. It is powered by PoE. RTSP previews also are an option there. That is one of our smaller scale, simpler options, more affordable options, where on the other end, if you need that quality and reliability that we have seen with this product for years now, we still offer our VIP T400 encoder, decoder, and wall plate, which is our 4K 60, 4x4x4 HDR with less than 17 milliseconds of latency, 300 megabytes per second, typical 1 gig transport via CAT or fiber, the USB options as well, instant switching, video wall up to 8x8, scalar and imager rotation built in alongside the auto features or bypass, whatever you need for pushing through several different types of display. Also has RS-232, IR, TCP, IP control, and an HDMI loop out, and of course it's PoE as well. Alongside that, just of the encoder decoder side, we also still offer our DIO series, our Dante Audio DSP interfaces, which are our high performance audio DSPs with flexible input output and smart processing for seamless integration into Dante networks. So we offer the 4x4, 8x8, 16x16 analog IO, and has the full DSP included in it, including EQ, compressions, AGC, and noise suppression, alongside all clocking features that you would need, auto mic, echo cancellation and matrix switching, and balanced and unbalanced analog audio support as well. And then, of course, as we mentioned, our lines of 24 and 48 port, 1 gig layer 3 switches with 4 10 gig SFP plus ports, part of our VIPNet 4804 and 2404 PL3. So this is a powerful enterprise grade switch for large scale AV functions that work with a appropriate and easy to understand web GUI for those network switch settings, including IGMP snooping, QoS, LACP, SNMP, API, and jumbo frame, and the option to change the max bytes of those jumbo frames. And it is TAA compliant alongside our VIP T400 and T300 series. Again, just a little note from PureLink, anytime you have a T in the SKU, that means it falls under the TAA compliance. And then, of course, as we continue to go, where we started with and what we always kind of go back to is our modular scalability and future proofing. Build once, upgrade forever. Explain the value of modular architectures that let customers expand input outputs, add new codecs, or upgrade bandwidth without replacing the whole system. We still see this. Obviously, our newest line is the Max 2, but we have plenty of Pure Media that we still sell and that has been running and operational with just updates to input output cards, audio matrices, and anything else internal component wise that need to be upgraded just for the growing needs of several years of the same modular matrix switch installed, running properly, and running reliably. So as we talked about with the Max 2, we have plenty of different sizes from our smallest size of Max 220 to Max 288. So with that scalability, we can go over with you in a sales engineering call to just figure out what cabling diagram you're working with, what you potentially are trying to replace or trying to scale from, and what options we can give you with that size. So whether it's HDMI, CAT, SDI, fiber, DisplayPort, VGA still, there are plenty of options you could have there for all the growing needs and requirements that you see in most, again, settings that want that reliability, want that hardware that is not going to be reliant on a network and reliant on any faultiness that could come with going over a non-point-to-point solution for running cables all throughout your building. This is where you would lean here with our Max 2 4K 60 cross-platform matrix switcher frame. Now, before we wrap up, just always like to talk about our test drive that we offer here at PureLink, where you can try out any PureLink product for 30 days, whether it's something like a custom programmed icon control, or it's just a simple point-to-point solution. You're trying to see if you should fully scale into whatever build you might be working on, or if you do want to try something out on the bigger modular matrix switcher side or AV over IP side, please reach out to our sales team. We would be happy to figure something out for you in regards to figuring out what would be your best solution, what specs you need, and if it will match exactly what you're looking at, so you don't have to take that risk of just trusting what we say over the phone or what is listed on the website, you could see the reliability and dependability that PureLink has to offer with that test drive. Now we welcome you to join the PureLink community. If you enjoyed this webinar or want to hear more about some of our individual products, we are on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. But especially on YouTube, we have, from the technical support side, plenty of videos on explaining some of our products and their new features alongside icon how-to videos to be able to continue to show you how much scalability and control ability can be fit within our easy language that makes anyone able to code with any amount of experience. And then contact us. Like I mentioned, if you're interested in a test drive, if you're interested in some of the topics we went over today and want to learn more or want to see some of our more documentation, reach out to sales@purelinkav.com or give us a call, 201-488-3232. We would be happy to, whether it's a tech question, whether it's a sales question, or whatever else you could think of, we would love to show you more about what PureLink has to offer and why we feel as though you can rely upon us and trust our products to get to where you need to be at the end of the day. But for that point, my name is Tyler Small. Thank you again for joining us today for PureLink's University webinar of what is to come here in 2026. We thank you for your time, and we hope to see you next time.